Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive. If you've spent any time scrolling lately, maybe on Douyin or its international cousin TikTok, you've probably felt that rush.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this place where trends just explode overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like completely unknown people suddenly become huge stars.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it's easy to see it as just this chaotic, kind of fleeting youth thing, dance videos, whatever. But what if there's actually a powerful, almost invisible technology driving all of that?
Oh, yeah.
Like a system deliberately engineered to create exactly this kind of environment.
That's really the fascinating core of it, isn't it? This rapid emergence of trends and stars. It's not just accidental. It's definitely not just luck.
Yep.
It's the result of a highly sophisticated system.
Mm.
And it's, globally recognized for its innovation. It was actually named one of MIT Technology Review's top 10 breakthrough technologies back in 2021.
Wow, MIT Tech Review. Okay. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to pull back the curtain using the source material we have. This really insightful article that kind of lays out how this tech works.
Right. So our mission in this deep dive is basically to unpack Douyin's unique recommendation system. We want to understand why it's so different from what came before and explore the profound implications it has for everyone involved. The aspiring creators, the users just consuming content, even the advertisers trying to reach people.
Yeah, everyone.
We'll pull out the key insights from the source, give you a shortcut to understanding this incredibly influential tech.
Okay, so the source material kicks right off by highlighting this, like astonishing speed of fame. You've got ordinary people going from totally unknown to nationally recognized figures, sometimes in hours.
Yeah, hours.
Just because of one short video they posted somehow caught fire.
It's an incredible transformation. The source calls it a sort of modern-day win, like magic power.
Magic power.
Yeah, and it can bring life-changing opportunities. Money, huge fame. But that can obviously impact someone's life in massive ways, good and bad.
Yeah.
That sudden, often anonymous jump to fame is really a hallmark of the platform.
And it's such a huge contrast to how things used to work, right?
Yeah.
On older social platforms.
Totally.
The source points out that traditional virality was heavily reliant on existing influencers. Like, for something to really blow up globally, it often needed someone with a massive following to pick it up and share it. Think about that PPAP video.
Oh, yeah, pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Right. It really exploded worldwide after Justin Bieber tweeted about it.
Exactly. And that model, it made sense for businesses, for brands leveraging existing celebrity power.
Sure. The old way.
But for younger generations, just looking for new culture, new trends, it felt a bit, stale. It just reinforced the power structure of old media where the already popular just get more popular.
Yeah. All right. So Douyin needed something different, a system that could kind of break that mold, where your reach wasn't just decided by your follower count, but purely by how good, how compelling your content actually was. And that's the engine, creating this constant churn of new trends, new faces.
And the source gives some really vivid examples of this. Remember Chengdu Tiantian?
Vaguely, yeah. Remind me.
She was just a regular woman in Chengdu. This was back in 2018. Became famous overnight from a tiny 15-second street interview clip.
15 seconds. What did she say?
She was asked about the required monthly salary for a potential husband. And her answer, really shy and simple, was just take me out for meals sometimes.
What?
That clip went massively viral. And she ended up becoming a model, a talent, just like that.
Wow. Okay. And there was a more recent one too, right? Jingchuan Liu.
Yes, Zhengshuan Liu. A Chinese student. She had a Japanese-style online name. The source highlights she gained, get this, 13 million fans.
13 million.
In under 2 weeks, from just 2 videos.
That's insane.
Well, her case is a great illustration of the system. The source notes the elements that really contributed. She had this creative, easily copyable dance.
Ah, the copycat fact.
Exactly. They called it the pure desire ceiling dance. Plus, she had a distinct kind of changing look, and she used this really popular EDM remix. It was called Chuja Day, a remix of a more traditional song.
Okay, the right mix of elements.
That combination just clicked. It triggered this massive wave of users posting videos like, try dancing like Liu.
So it fed itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so given this goal, enabling unknowns, constant newness, why couldn't Douyin just grab one of the recommendation systems that were already out there? Like, what was wrong with the existing stuff?
Yeah, good question. They found out pretty quickly that the standard approaches just weren't built for the unique challenges of short video, and certainly not for their specific platform goals.
Okay, let's break those down. The source talks about the type used by, like, e-commerce sites, Jingdong is mentioned. That approach relies heavily on user history, right?
Exactly. What you've bought, what you've clicked on, it often uses collaborative filtering.
Which is basically seeing what people like you liked.
Right. Or ranking learning. But the fundamental issue for Douyin is the cold start problem.
Cold start, meaning?
A brand new video has zero history. Absolutely none. No one's watched it, liked it, commented on it yet.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
And while, sure, users can follow creators on Douyin if you rely only on follower-based recommendations, well, you just end up favoring the existing stars again.
Right back where you started, which they wanted to avoid.
Precisely.
Okay, so what about the other approach? Content-based systems, like analyzing the video itself. Music streaming services do this, right? Pandora's Music Genome Project or Plex's Supersonic.
Yeah, analyzing the content itself. But that throws up a whole different set of challenges for Douyin.
Like what?
First off, just the scale. Analyzing millions of new short videos posted every single day for detailed content features, that's computationally massive.
And slow.
Right, music libraries don't change that fast. Exactly. Music is relatively stable, you can pre-analyze it. But maybe even more importantly, for the user experience. The source points out something crucial. While listening to similar music over and over can be comfortable.
Yeah, I like playlists that have a vibe.
Right. But users get bored really fast if video content is too similar. Like really fast.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So Douyin needs to serve up content that feels diverse, but somehow still perfectly matches your preferences. It's almost a contradictory requirement.
Diverse, but relevant.
Okay, I see the problem. So user history doesn't work well for new stuff, and pure content similarity is too slow and makes things boring. They needed something completely new.
Exactly. And that need led to what the source describes as the traffic pool system. It's often pictured as sort of a reverse triangle.
A traffic pool, like a swimming pool for videos, how does that actually work?
Kinda. It's basically an initial filtration system. When you post a new video, it doesn't immediately get shown to all your followers or, a huge audience.
No, where does it go? It's first placed into a small initial pool of users. The article suggests typically around 100 to 300 people.
That's tiny.
It is. And the system then rigorously measures how those initial viewers interact with that video, everything they do.
Okay. And then what? Based on how it does in that tiny pool.
Yep. Only the videos that perform the best within that small pool, generally, the source says, the top 10% or so, only those get advanced to the next pool, which is slightly larger.
Ah, okay.
And this process, this sort of tournament-style filtering, gets repeated through multiple layers of pools, each one bigger than the last.
So like a knockout competition. Most videos just get knocked out right at the start.
Precisely. The source notes that something like 90% of newly posted videos don't perform well enough to make it past that very first pool.
90%?
Yeah. They're seen by maybe a few hundred people, and then they essentially vanish. They don't get wider distribution. This is what some creators call hitting the 300-person wall.
The wall.
And it's how the system effectively buries the vast majority of, let's face it, low quality or just unengaging content before it ever hits most people's main feed.
Keeping the main feed interesting. And reaching that final stage, the article called it OOC, getting distributed like everywhere on the platform.
Oh, it's incredibly rare, super rare. I mean, if you imagine needing to pass through maybe 8 pool stages, right? And only 10% advance each time.
So 0.1 times 0.1 times.
Yeah, the probability of reaching that widest distribution could be as low as like 1 in 100 million.
Wow, 1 in 100 million.
But, and this is key because this filtration happens so fast, if a video performs exceptionally well at each stage, hitting all the right notes, it can reach that broad all-user stage in as little as 12 hours. And that's how you get that explosive overnight fame the source describes.
Okay, that makes sense now. But before a video even lands in that first tiny pool, what does the system do? Is there prep work?
Oh yeah, there's a crucial pre-processing stage. The source details this. It involves AI analyzing both the video content itself and the audio track.
Okay, what's it looking for?
The main goal is automatic tagging. Lots and lots of tags.
Tags like?
Well, the specific algorithms are obviously secret sauce, but the source suggests the AI identifies things like objects in the video, actions being performed, the background environment, any visual effects used.
Ah,
And critically, it analyzes the audio, it identifies the type of music, other sounds, and it even uses natural language processing to pull out keywords from any speech in the video.
is that all just for recommending it later?
Not entirely. Tagging serves a few really critical purposes. One is definitely for review and censorship.
Ah, right. Important in China.
Very,
And the-
especially for identifying content flagged as, sexual, violent, or politically sensitive. These tags help flag videos automatically for mandatory manual human review and potential rejection. The source gives this interesting detail, actually. It mentions Tencent Video's AI apparently has the capability to accurately tell the difference between someone in gym wear working out versus someone in underwear just lying on a bed.
Wow. That is specific.
Right. It shows the level of detail they're going for in the analysis. But the other main purpose of all this tagging is attribute assignment.
Meaning?
These tags are used to build up detailed profiles, two kinds, really. One for the user's viewing preferences, what kind of videos do you tend to watch and like, and another for the creator's posting tendencies, what kind of stuff do they usually make.
Profiles for both sides.
Exactly. And this detailed tagging and profiling is what allows the system to try and match the right initial pool of viewers to a brand new video. Give it the best possible first audience.
Okay, so the video's tagged, ready to go. How does the system pick those first 100 to 300 people for that initial pool? Is it just random?
The source indicates it's initially a random selection from users who are online right then, but there are weighted preferences.
Ah, okay.
Fans of the creator definitely get priority. Makes sense. And also, interestingly, users who are geographically nearby, like in the same city.
Nearby. Why does that matter?
The thinking mentioned in the article is that proximity can sometimes make even relatively mundane local content feel more engaging or relatable to that first small audience. Gives it a bit of an edge, maybe.
Huh. Okay, so the video's in the pool, those first few hundred people are seeing it, the system's watching them watch it. What metrics does it actually use to decide if this video is good enough to advance?
Okay, this is critical. The source identifies 4 key engagement metrics measured in each pool. First, completion rate, or that's the percentage of people who watch the entire video.
The whole thing, okay.
Second, like rate, pretty straightforward. Third, comment rate. And fourth, share rate.
Completion, like, comment, share. Which ones matter most?
The completion rate and the like rate are highlighted as being particularly critical for getting promoted to the next pool.
Really? How critical?
The source mentions some approximate thresholds that people often talk about, like needing a completion rate somewhere around 60%.
60% watch the whole thing. That sounds high for short video.
It is high. And maybe needing something like 10 likes just within that tiny initial pool to even have a shot at moving up.
Wow. So it's not just about getting a few random likes. It's about getting specific, high-quality engagement from that very first test audience.
Exactly right. And the system is designed to automatically kind of tweak those criteria slightly. The goal is to make sure that roughly 10% of videos do advance from each pool.
Maintaining that filter rate.
Yeah, keeps the flow consistent regardless of how many videos are being uploaded or how many users are online. The 90% that don't hit the mark, their journey through the system basically stops right there.
Okay. And for the lucky 10% that make it.
Yeah.
How does the system pick the users for the next larger pool?
That selection is directly informed by the data from the pool it just passed. The system analyzes the tag patterns and the profiles of the users who reacted positively, liked, commented, watched all the way through in that smaller pool, and then it selects users with similar preferences, similar profiles for the next stage, trying to find more people like the ones who already liked it.
Makes sense. Find its audience.
And the source also mentions that friends of those users who reacted well within Douyin, they're also prioritized for the next pool.
Ah, so social connections do play a role, but later.
Exactly. They can amplify diffusion after a video has already proven its initial quality within the pool system. And this whole selection process just repeats as videos potentially climb up that pool hierarchy.
It's really fascinating to see how this pool system, designed for one thing, ends up having impacts way beyond just finding new creators.
Oh, absolutely. One huge effect is just the constant refreshment of the main feed, like we touched on.
Like filtering out the junk.
By filtering out roughly 90% of content super early, the system ensures that what does make it through has a much higher probability of actually being engaging.
Yeah.
It keeps the feed feeling fresh and interesting.
And the source pointed out it even helps with fraud prevention. How does that work?
Yeah, it makes those large-scale automated click farms way less effective.
Why?
Because only the engagement metrics within the specific pool of video is currently assigned to actually matter for advancing it. You can't just flood a video with thousands of generic bot likes from outside that pool and expect it to get promoted. It doesn't work that way.
Ah, the likes have to come from the assigned viewers.
Exactly. The source even notes that if the system sees big discrepancies, like tons of overall likes but terrible metrics within the pool that can actually be a red flag, it helps detect that kind of fraudulent activity. And it all reinforces that core principle we talked about. The system really tries to prioritize content performance over, say, pre-existing follower counts or trying to artificially inflate things.
Right. A megastar and a total unknown. They both start in that same little pool.
Yep. Both have to earn their way up based purely on how that specific video performs with real users in that pool. And that's fundamental to how the system can find and boost new talent based purely on their creativity.
The article also described these interesting bypass routes in the system. What was that about?
Yeah, this helps explain some of those weird diffusion patterns you sometimes see. If a creator has one video that does exceptionally well, like goes all the way through the pools to wide distribution, the system might then reevaluate that creator's older videos that maybe failed in the pools before and got buried.
Well,
It might re-enter those older videos back into the system for another chance.
Okay. That makes total sense why sometimes you see an older video by someone suddenly pop up after one of their newer ones goes viral.
Right. It can lead to these periods where it feels like one creator's stuff is just everywhere you're seeing their new viral hit, but also their older content is getting a second life, kind of riding the wave.
Like with Jingquan Liu you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. The source suggests her older videos saw a surge after her initial couple of hits took off. The system gave them another look.
Okay, now here's where things get really interesting for like the broader economy. Advertising. The source material highlights that ads on Douyin. They go through this exact same traffic pool system.
Yes, and that is a massive shift. Advertisements, especially the ones promoting products, sold directly through Douyin's own e-commerce feature, Usi.
Right, the built-in shop.
They aren't just pushed out based on how much money you spend. They have to perform well. They need high completion rates, good engagement metrics in the pools, just like regular content, to earn that wider distribution.
So the ad itself has to be kind of good or at least engaging.
Precisely. And the source notes this has totally changed the style of advertising that actually works on the platform. Forget slick, highly polished, expensive-looking ads.
Yeah. What works instead?
The most effective ones often look, well, honestly, kind of cheap or homemade.
Really?
Oh, the article gives great examples, just like simply showing the utility of a product, using amateur narration, or even those synthesized text-to-speech voices, featuring farmers speaking in their local dialect about the fruit they're selling, or sometimes just someone genuinely enjoying eating some food on camera. Really basic stuff.
Why on earth is that style more effective?
Think about it. It mimics the look and feel of the organic, user-generated content that dominates the platform.
Camouflage.
Exactly. You're less likely to immediately clock it as an ad and just swipe past instantly. And remember how important that completion rate is?
Yeah, watching the whole thing.
Getting users to watch the entire ad is critical for it to advance through the pools and reach a bigger audience, which ultimately drives sales.
Okay.
The source points to ByteDance's own ad platform, Ocean Engine, and its creative radar tool.
Yeah.
It apparently showcases these kinds of non-traditional, kind of rough-looking but highly effective ads as proof of what works.
So the algorithm forces advertisers to adapt.
Completely. The source suggests advertising is almost returning to this more primitive, direct engagement style, like an old-fashioned street vendor showing you how something works, or a store demo.
It really shows how the algorithm dictates not just what succeeds, but the entire style and presentation. Advertisers have no choice but to play by its rules.
Okay, moving beyond just the content itself, the source brings up another really interesting concept for user experience. It's called interpretability.
Interpretability.
It's basically the idea that users feel more engaged with and maybe even trust a system more if they have some sense, even intuitively, of why certain content is being recommended to them.
Okay, can you give a Douyin example of that? How would I feel that?
Yeah, the source uses this scenario. Imagine you've been scrolling the main feed, right? Maybe skipping a lot of videos, not finding much you like.
Happens all the time.
Then you specifically go to the search bar and you search for something. Let's say pets.
Okay, searched for pet.
When you go back to your main feed, suddenly the videos you're seeing have shifted. There's way more pet content than before.
Ah, I see.
You instinctively understand, oh, the system saw my search and it adjusted. It responded to that explicit signal you gave it.
Right, it doesn't feel totally random anymore. It feels like it's actually listening to me, in a way.
Precisely. That feeling of responsiveness, that clear feedback loop, even if you don't consciously know about pools and algorithms and tags, it makes the user feel understood by the platform.
And that keeps you scrolling.
Exactly. It increases engagement, makes you feel like the app gets you, and encourages you to spend more time there.
So let's step back again. Look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
What does all this mean for us, just as people trying to navigate the world, consuming information in this digital age?
Yeah, it connects to a broader point the source touches on, which is this massive challenge of information overload.
Tell me about it.
We are just completely deluged, aren't we? There's vastly more information out there, articles, videos, posts, everything, than any single person could ever hope to process in a lifetime.
Not even close.
So in this environment, the ability to effectively select and consume quality information, that becomes really crucial. Crucial for our, cognitive well-being, our quality of life.
And the source makes this interesting point, kind of pushing back against just trying to consume faster. Watching shows at 3x speed or getting those 10-minute book summaries.
Yeah, exactly. The argument presented is that maybe the truly valuable skill isn't just consuming more stuff or consuming it faster.
What is it then?
It's honing your own personal sense, your discernment, your judgment for finding quality information in the first place. Getting better at filtering the noise yourself.
Okay, developing better taste almost.
Kind of. And that, in turn, means that discovering and learning how to effectively use services or platforms that have genuinely excellent recommendation systems.
Like the Douyin one we've been talking about.
Potentially, yes. Using those well becomes a valuable skill in itself. It's like finding a good tool to help you navigate the flood.
So a key takeaway is that in this age of just endless information, the actual quality of a digital service, it's increasingly defined by how good its recommendation system is.
I think that's a really strong point from the source. It's not just about how much content a platform holds anymore. It's about how well it can surface the right content, the relevant content for you personally.
Right. So to kind of wrap up this deep dive, it seems really clear that the whole Douyin phenomenon, its crazy growth, its ability to constantly create new trends and make overnight stars, it isn't just random luck or some fleeting cultural thing.
Definitely not.
It's driven by this highly sophisticated, deliberately engineered recommendation system built around that traffic pool idea. And this system is pretty ruthless, prioritizing content performance in these carefully managed stages. That lets it rapidly find and spread engaging videos.
Yeah, super fast.
Effectively democratizing fame, basing it on creativity rather than just who you already know or how many followers you start with.
And as the source really highlights, this powerful algorithmic engine, it changes pretty much everything. How we find entertainment, how we consume information, how ads get made, even how e-commerce works on the platform. It's reshaping a lot.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the source material. It's been really eye-opening.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought for you to consider, kind of building on what we've discussed from the source.
Okay.
In a world where these increasingly powerful algorithms are getting so incredibly good at curating what we see, what we like, what we end up buying, even shaping these broad cultural trends, what does it really mean anymore to hone your sense for finding quality information? Are we actually refining our own independent judgment, or are we mostly just getting better at navigating the highly optimized paths that these complex systems are constantly laying out ahead of us?
Wow. Yeah. Are we choosing or just following the smartest breadcrumbs?
Something to chew on until next time.